France has expanded its air campaign against Islamist rebels in northern Mali. French warplanes have bombed the town of Gao, deep inside rebel-held territory. While the United States is providing communications and transport help, 2 British transport planes are also being deployed to provide logistical support. A UN Security Council meeting on Monday will be held to discuss the conflict.
French air crews prepare for another mission. The Air Force is now carrying out round-the-clock strikes, pounding the rebel bases and forcing the fighters to flee. Although French officials have admitted the rebels are better armed than they'd expected. 7 other countries are supporting France, including Britain and the US. But speaking on French TV, the foreign minister stressed this would not be their Afghanistan.
Regarding France's direct involvement, it is only a matter of weeks. Later on we can come back as backup, but we have no intention of staying forever.
In Mali itself, the French intervention has been welcomed. These villagers said it was reassuring. The rebels control the northern half of the country, an area larger than France itself. They impose strict Islamic laws: no music, no tobacco, and no makeup. Flout them and you'll be flogged. In the capital, Bamako, in contrast to the war raging in the north, most people are going about their business as usual, some even cashing in on the conflict by selling French flags. France has 400 troops on the ground already, but Paris is stepping up its diplomacy with West African leaders. President François Hollande is pressing them to send reinforcements quickly. Niger, Burkina Faso, Senegal and Nigeria have all said they will dispatch troops. And at this airbase in Chad, another French jet lands after its bombing mission over Mali. Officials in Paris say their lightning offensive is working, with the rebels stopped in their tracks. Richard Forrest, BBC News.
Let's get more now on the French involvement in Mali. It has expanded its air campaign in the region against Islamist rebels. Our correspondent, Christian Fraser, is in Paris and following the political move, an international move, with some support, Christian, from the UK and the United States.
Yes, very much so. And the French have been pointing to the mandate they have from the UN Security Council. There's a feeling that they have overwhelming international support and, most importantly, of course, the support of leaders in West Africa, the same leaders, incidentally, who were critical of their intervention in Libya. So they feel as if they're on fairly solid ground. We're into day 4 of this intervention, and obviously the target at the moment is beyond the line in a town called Gao, which is around 1,200 kilometres north-northeast of the capital, Bamako. We've seen pictures of the French fighters, the Rafale, leaving bases in eastern France, later landing in the Chadian capital in N'Djamena without their payload. And from eyewitnesses who've been speaking to the BBC's World Service, we understand that they've been hitting targets near the airbase, they've hit training camps, warehouses. Islamists have been seen driving around the town, some of them fleeing. So some of them have been dislodged, but we don't know whether they still have control of the town. Some of that, of course, will come out later in the day through some of the intelligence reports we get from the French government.
You know, Christian, there's also much speculation about the length of this conflict and the amount of time that France is going to be involved. Laurent Fabius seems quite optimistic, says this is going to be over in weeks.
Yes, more optimistic than perhaps they were on Friday. He was talking about an open-ended commitment on Friday, but on Sunday he said maybe just a few weeks until they can, of course, get this force from ECOWAS, the West African bloc, in situ. There's around 3,300 troops going to come from ECOWAS, and the first of them will start to arrive today from Burkina Faso and from Niger. There's 600 French troops there at the moment. They are sort of holding the line just south of Kona, the town that the Islamists took on last week. And they're also, of course, strengthening their positions in the capital, Bamako, as well, to protect French citizens. But they've called a UN Security Council meeting today. They'll be discussing with the Americans and the Brits and also the other members of the UN Security Council just how long this commitment is going to be.
Christian, I know you're going to be following it closely. No doubt we shall speak soon. Look forward to it. Take care.